All right, so we kind of started out by thinking about a community bulletin board, and it's kind of an outdated center or hub for what's going on in your area. Um, it's they get very cluttered. It's a lot of old information. There's flyers from 3 months ago. They're not really practical anymore. And we also thought about social media and how we use it today. So you have Facebook, you have 800 friends there, you are on Twitter, you follow 1,000 accounts. As you scroll through your feeds, you may see something that interests you, and you may say, I'm going to come back to that in 20 minutes, but then you probably will forget and not remember. So we kind of thought about iBeacons as a way to make content hyper-local and make sure that what's going on in your community gets seen. So we kind of thought it was a fun and different approach.
So like Caitlin said, our app is using the iBeacon in a social network sort of way. We plan to have we're going to have filters so you can filter out the content that people post. It's posting in your community, so content is already going to be relevant to you. It's not going to be overwhelming like Twitter. When you follow so many people, content you actually want to see gets lost. And with this, you'll actually see stuff that you want to see. You can also take, if you like some post or something, you can take that with you in our Pocket feature, which we'll explain later. And it's also sort of like a time capsule of the day, where you can see what your community members have posted, like maybe their opinions on something that happened about Mizzou football, or I don't know. And it's not just your family and friends. Like on Facebook, you can see all of what your community is saying. And Caitlin's going to explain how this works in range of the iBeacon.
Okay, so basically imagine that we have an iBeacon at the MU Student Center, and we attach the iBeacon to some sort of bright attention-getting structure, think bright purple or pink, and it's branded with the Zobelisk logo. So I have the app downloaded on my phone, and I'm walking through campus, and I enter the Student Center, and I receive a notification from the app saying that I'm within range of the Zobelisk. So I open the app, and I see a basic feed of content of posts that people have made at that location prior to me getting there. So as I'm walking through the Student Center, I am an avid runner, and I am interested in an upcoming event, like a 5K or a 10K, and I see one posted. So I can click on it, I can see more information about it, I can see commenters, and I can see how many people have pocketed it and taken it with them, and I decide I want to do the same. Pocketing is this idea that we've come up with where, so at the actual Zobelisk, you see all these posts, all of the content, but pocketing allows you the ability to take with you only what interests you. So if I'm interested in this 10K, I can select the Pocket feature and physically leave the zone of the Zobelisk, and when I leave, I can still access that post about the upcoming event from my home or anywhere else. So it kind of gives you the ability to not be overwhelmed by all the information that's out there. You're really just physically taking with you what interests you. And also when you're within range, you can post yourself. So after you've created an account with your name and email address to have a degree of accountability, you can add posts about upcoming events, or you can honestly talk about anything that interests you. So if you care a lot about who's starting shortstop for Mizzou next week, you can talk about that. Or if you went to a city council meeting and something that you cared about wasn't on the agenda, you could post about that. And then anybody who walks through the Zobelisk range can see what you've posted, and you can kind of see who is interested in the same things that you are in that way. So then when you're out of range, you can also access the app and some of its features.
Okay, so out of range of the app, when you first open it, it'll take you straight to your Pocket because you can only post when you're within range of the iBeacon. And there you can delete your previous pocketed posts, or which I like to call clearing the pocket lint and pennies out of there. You can take or look at the pocketed post of like if it was a concert coming up, and you can add that information to your calendar. You can also edit your profile, which we call the Me section. You can edit your phone number or add a short bio about yourself. And you can also check the map feature, which will show you the nearest Zobelisk, and it'll give you directions to take you there. So if you want to go post something, you can go. You can view your posts that you've made at different Zobelisks and their locations, and drafts that you've made. And for future,
So when we think about the options for expanding this app, we're working in the class to have a Zobelisk in one place, somewhere central on Mizzou's campus. We're thinking somewhere like the Student Center, but potentially Zobelisks could be around Columbia or in other cities. So it would kind of be a reflection of what the tone is and what the community vibe is like. And it's very local, and it's very just specific to the people of that community. So we'd like to see more Zobelisks around town in the future. And when we actually implement this app, we want to have the community option to self-moderate, so people can flag content that they feel is inappropriate, so that the burden isn't all on the team of Zobelisk, our team, the development and design team. And so we would like to see that if we were actually going to implement the app, we would implement that as well.
and we'd also like to create a profile for strictly businesses. That way, it can make hyperlocal marketing extremely easier for them, and they can connect with community members, which is their target audience.